shorter show for
Good
you
night,
today.
everybody.
No.
Oh, I thought I was just on here to say good night to everybody.
No, that's not the. If
That's what I'm going to be hired for in my next job.
Just to
come in and say good night, everybody.
You're going to be like a Walmart. You're going to be the person who says goodbye to everybody.
All right, at the end
door.
of your show with whoever you're doing the show with. I'm just going to come on and say good night, everybody.
That's what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. I look forward to that next role of yours in life.
Exactly.
Yes, you'll come in here and just say good night, everybody. Yeah. We do have a lot to get into over the course of this shorter show.
Lots of stuff, lots of info. Good show.
A lot of stuff when it comes to the Suns. This Matt Ishbia story, which is kind of hanging over everybody, and everybody wants to kind of figure out what it all means. But we got to start. First thing is first, the Arizona Diamondbacks losing a series at home to the Colorado Rockies.
Absolutely.
Let's weigh in on our top story of the day here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
The 2-2. Just missed the corner. Now a challenge coming from Sullivan. He's walking back towards his own dugout.
Look at that bat this has been.
Oh, my God. This is a T-Mobile at bat. And got him. On the corner. Strike three called, inning over. D-backs leave him loaded again.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got another one.
And now the 0-1 from Herget. Swung on. Ground ball to third. Castro has it. Goes to second. There's one. On to first. Double play. 5-4-3. Inning-ending double play.
3 straight innings.
Left on base, 15. Did they lift 15 on base the other day in a loss?
Yeah,
they went 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. They left 15 on base. Then they get 11 hits today. They get 11 hits, and they get 10 walks. 10 walks in the baseball game. And they leave 15 on base. Mm-hmm. This is unacceptable. It's brutal. It's a disaster of a home series against the pathetic Rockies. I thought they were going to be okay after they won the opener. And then they blanked the bed against the Rockies. I can't say the word. Yes, I want to say the word.
I love how you
I know Lauren's saying no. What does it matter?
No, I was looking to see if the Padres just walked off the Brewers.
No, they did not. That's going extras.
Sinking line drive to center field, but that one's going extras.
We'll go into the standings later. It's inexcusable. This is getting ridiculous. This team's inability to score runs is very, very frustrating. They did not do enough to, address the issues at the deadline. I mean, Lars Nootbaar is all that they were able to add, and so far, Lars Nootbaar has 3 hits in 23 at-bats.
That's not very good.
For the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's got no home runs. He's got 1 RBI. And he's got 20, I'm not even counting today, whatever he did. What did he do today? What did he go for 3 today? 6, 10, 17, 23 at-bats.
0 for 2 today. With 2 walks.
That's 25 at-bats with 3 hits for Lars Nootbaar. He's not getting it done. Their whole offense, bases loaded. They can't get the big hits. Arenado had a great opportunity with the bases loaded. He failed. It was a frustrating game. I'm kind of pissed, to be honest with you. I'm kind of pissed because, I would look back at this 1,000% if they miss out by a game or two. You can't lose a home series to the Rockies. They're on pace. I'm again upset here. They're on pace
Pills,
to lose.
Gambo. Pills. Is the defibrillator charged up in the break room? Lauren, can you run and check to make sure that defibrillator's all charged up, ready to go? Just in case. They were on. So take a breath and tell us what they were on pace to do.
They're on pace to lose 100 games for the 4th straight year. You can't lose a home series to these guys. They suck.
It's the first time they've lost a home series to the Rockies, I believe, since 2022. There's to your point. I'll give you a chance to catch your breath here. There's a million reasons to hate this game, and it starts with the thing that you just said a second ago. This is the clearest series and game that we've had to date where if we get to the end of the season and the Diamondbacks don't make the postseason, this is going to be the one you're going to remember. Now, something might happen between now and then to be the other thing that you'll remember. But as of right now, today, this series is the one that you will remember if you don't make it. You dropped 2 of 3 at home to the Colorado Rockies after you took 2 of 3 at home to the LA Dodgers. You did it when you left 15 guys on base. You did it when Merrill Kelly, with diminished velocity, by the way, that's a little bit of a red flag that Torrey talked about after the game. We'll get into that in a second. Merrill gives up a home run to the 9-hole hitter. He gives up a home run, first career home run for Zach Veen. He's brutally bad today, and he had been really, really good in the month of July, and he was really good against the Dodgers before he left that game with cramping. But between his issues, the men left on base, all the base runners, the hits, the walk, 3 straight innings with the bases loaded, and you're not able to win a series against the Colorado Rockies. This is moved to the front of the line in terms of the series that you will remember if they don't make the postseason. And I do not like having this feeling on the brain going into a series against the Atlanta Braves and the Boston Red Sox next week, because those are going to be 2 really tough series. There's a dangerous spot there in Gambo.
It was just the other day against the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks, they lose that game 2-1 in extra innings. They leave 15 guys on base. That was the Brandon Pfaadt game where he pitched remarkable for 7 innings. And it's tied at 1 going into the 10th inning, and they lose that game 2-1. They leave 15 on base. And then today they leave 15 on base. Somebody's got to have a clutch gene in them. Somebody. Yesterday was frustrating, that game, because you stop scoring after the first inning. And then in this game, this is frustrating because one hit breaks the game open, and they just could not get that big hit when they needed it.
In the bottom of the 5th, it was Arenado who weakly tapped out to shortstop with the bases loaded. In the bottom of the 6th, it was Gabriel Moreno. We played that highlight, who struck out to end the inning on an ABS challenge to leave him loaded. Bottom of the 7th, it was Ryan Waldschmidt, the hero from Friday night,
who's had 4 opportunities to be a hero again. And
quite a few opportunities in that moment since, grounded into a double play to end the 7th. And then even then, in the 8th, after Carroll homers, Marte's at second, Locklear's at first. Nolan Arenado grounds out again to end that inning with runners at first and second. Just that one big hit where they can't get it. I mentioned the diminished velocity. Here's Torey Lovello after the game talking about that.
Sometimes I get tricked by the velo boards here. So I got confirmation it was coming out about 90, 91. And that's a tick or 2 down from what he gave us against the Dodgers. And, I want Merrill's best 80 pitches, his best 90 pitches. And I asked him if he's okay, meaning I don't want you to save gas in your tank, go out there and let it rip. And he assured me that he was. It just was one of those days.
According to our Alex Weiner, who is there at Chase Field right now, he threw 71 pitches. His 4-seam fastball averaged about 90.7 miles per hour. That is down 1.5 miles per hour from normal. So he was there was something going on with Merrill Kelly today where he was a tick or 2 lower than where he's normally at.
Brewers just had a guy thrown out trying to steal third. In extras.
Philly, we'll get into this specifically later. Phillies lost today, so you didn't lose any ground to them. San Diego has just been insanely hot right now. I think they've won 14 of their last 18 games. They were down in this game. They rallied to come back to tie it. And if the Brewers are running themselves into outs, the Padres will have a chance to win this.
To win the game.
With the ghost runner, potentially, in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Yeah, then the Padres would be the first wild card. The Diamondbacks and the Phillies would be tied for the second.
Correct. And the Diamondbacks...
With the tiebreaker is still...
To be determined. Yeah, Diamondbacks have the tiebreaker now, but they still have a 3-game series against Philly coming up later this week. It's just a terrible loss today.
You know what it means, in all honesty? It's... Everything you did good to win that Dodgers series just went right out the freaking window. Because if I told you they lost 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, then they won 2 out of 3 against Colorado, you'd be like, okay. Okay.
5-5 homestand.
But that's what they did. Everything that you did to work hard to beat the Dodgers with 46,000 in the stadium every night and the great feeling you had in winning that series, and then you come in and you lose 2 out of 3 to Colorado, and you leave 15 guys on base in the finale, unacceptable. Unacceptable.
There were people talking about after they won Monday against the Rockies, that if they could complete a sweep against Colorado, the Diamondbacks would have been 10 games above 500, and that would have been almost like graduating to this level of, oh wow, they're 10 games above 500. Like that, as if that's some magic number that almost guarantees that you're going to get into the postseason. And I know that's overdoing it a little bit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 10 games over 500, it's impressive.
With 10 games over 500 with 40 games to go, you feel really good about your chances of getting in. To go from that to this, and if the Padres end up winning this game, that's a rough day. Off day for the D-backs tomorrow. As I mentioned, the Atlanta Braves, first of 3 coming up on Friday on the road, and what will be a very tough series. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, we turn our attention to the Phoenix Suns. The full NBA schedule will release tomorrow. Sounds like, though, we know who the Suns will open with.
Oh, yeah, we know.
But the story that all Suns fans are asking themselves about today, the Matt Ishbia story, and the level of concern about that, we'll get into it next on Burns and Gambo.
Cardinals. Raiders. The preseason's Game 1 live from Vegas.
We'll have our guys out there. It's not going to be much. Could be one drive, max of 2. For those main guys, they'll be playing. That includes Jacoby.
Coverage begins at 2. Kickoff at 5 tomorrow afternoon on the home of Arizona Cardinals football. The Arizona Sports app and 98.7 FM.
Love telling you about the Lund Mortgage Team, where they are ready to help you right now with all of your mortgage needs. Refinancing, new home loans, getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Let the Lund Mortgage Team help you. They do a fantastic job of those people that are renting houses that want to buy. What they do is they get you pre-approved for a mortgage. And so you could stop renting, and you could stop spending all that money and paying somebody else's mortgage, and you could have your own mortgage, equity in something that's yours. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, and that crew over there is truly second to none. So if you're looking at rates and you want to lower your rate, or you want to go from a 30-year to a 15-year, or you want to put yourself in a position, if you're a renter, to own a home, get pre-approved for free. Call the Lund Mortgage Team at 623-889-0130. They can answer any and all of your mortgage questions. That's 623-889-0130.
Hi, folks. Jody Jackson here. My friends at Y-Refi are humbled to be this year's co-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital Give-a-thon. And at Y-Refi, they understand college didn't turn out how a lot of us hoped. The degree? Check. But the debt and detours, not what anyone planned. That's why Y-Refi helps struggling borrowers refinance private student loans with a plan that actually works. Visit YRefi.com today. That's YREFY.com. Y-Refi is not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Rivera, Senior Marketing Manager with Mattamy Homes. We're proud to be the Stories of Hope sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital Give-a-thon. In my own family, my son was diagnosed with leukemia. He's now doing great, all thanks to the wonderful medical care of PCH. Call 602-933-4567. You can also text GIVE to 620-620. The children at PCH need our help now more than ever.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and you've seen the billboards. Sweet James is everywhere. It's a fun name and a fun brand, but when you've been hurt in an accident and it's game time, Sweet James plays to win. They are unstoppable in their pursuit of justice, and they are the heavy hitter you need when dealing with the insurance companies. Sweet James Accident Attorneys is a world-class law firm with over 25 years of experience, more than 500 trials, and over $2 billion recovered for accident victims. They even have a full in-house trial team, and they win 98% of the time. Remember, having the right attorney can mean the difference between a $2,000 check and a $2 million settlement, and Sweet James delivers some of the biggest wins in the country, and they've been named best attorneys in America. So if you're hurt in an accident, don't settle for less. Call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-900-0000, online at sweetjames.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Mitch Ferreldis, and here is what's trending now. Diamondbacks just wrapped up their series finale against the Rockies. A very frustrating end to a frustrating series. The Snakes walked 10 times, had 11 hits, and they ended up stranding 15 runners on base in a 6-4 loss this afternoon. And positive news, Corbin Carroll hit his 100th career home run today, his 18th of the season. Arizona will now hit the road. They start a 3-game set with the Braves in Atlanta on Friday. Other Diamondbacks news, Paul Sewald, who was designated for assignment on Monday, was claimed by the Blue Jays today. The reigning American League champs are currently 2.5 games back of the final AL wildcard spot. And the full NBA schedule will release tomorrow, but today we learned who the Suns will play in their NBA Cup group. They will host the Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks and travel on the road to face the Utah Jazz and Houston Rockets. Their first group game will be October 30th against Denver. This report is brought to you by Advanced Window Products. Advanced Window Products builds every window in Tolleson, ensuring factory direct quality with no middlemen or delays. Call 480-676-3600 to schedule your consultation.
Hey, it's Luke. Were the Diamondbacks able to finish off the Rockies and pick up another series win? We'll talk about it tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Narrator, they were not. Diamondbacks lose today to the Colorado Rockies, dropping the series at home. What's going on up here with this Padres game right now?
Second and third, 2 outs.
Okay, look like
Padres
a double steal with 2 outs, it looks like. And yeah, so the Padres have the winning run at third base with 2 out in the bottom of the 10th.
And they would take over the top wild card spot if they win this game.
Well, the second wild card spot.
Second wild card spot to the Cubs.
The Cubs.
Sorry.
But the Padres would also be doing the Cubs a big favor by handing the Milwaukee Brewers
we're going to 11.
loss. But we're going to 11. Yep, fly out to center field. And we are going to the 11th inning. The Padres and the Brewers are tied 2-2. In the meantime, tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll get just a boatload of crap from the morning show about this tomorrow because, that's what they do. We will not have a show tomorrow because of Cardinals preseason. The pregame show knocks us right off the air. We're not working tomorrow, right?
We're not working tomorrow.
Sometimes I feel like I have to remind you that we're not, just so you know.
I'm the
we're
worst
not
person in the world at thinking ahead.
Yeah, we're not
working tomorrow.
And we'll be hearing about it all morning from Bickley and Murata, I'm sure. Go ahead, boys, bring it. That's fine. You're just jealous.
Yeah, you're just jealous.
So
you work and I don't.
So tomorrow,
and we both get paid.
If we had a show, we'd be able to react to the Suns schedule release, the NBA schedule release.
Yes.
It continues to get kind of doled out in little doses. So far, no big national games involving the Phoenix Suns that have been announced. I think today they released MLK Day. They released President's Day. We've seen Christmas. We've seen the opening day nationally televised games. But you do know.
We do.
What do you know?
Well, what I could tell you is that the Suns, and this is not out yet, but what I was able to learn is that the Suns will open up their home season on Saturday, October 24th. It will be against a division rival. I'm hearing the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Now, the schedule's not out. Nobody has any information. I do not believe they will open up the season at home. Okay, so I don't believe they'll open up the season at home. Because if I look at that date, the season actually starts 5 days earlier, so I think that they will not open at home. But I do believe that the home opener will be Saturday, October 24th. And if my information is right, it will be against a division rival. And if my information is doubly right, it will be against the Golden State Warriors.
Now, when that schedule does come out, obviously we'd be looking at things like that. We'll be looking to see, where the tough road trips are, where the tough back-to-backs are, the 3 games in 4 nights, like where they all, all the things. I think I'll also be looking to see how many times they're on national TV because the Suns obviously had a really pleasant, surprising season last year and might warrant a little more national attention than they got a year ago. So we'll see all of that. So far, we haven't gotten any of that. And of course, we don't treat the schedule release in the NBA the way we do in the NFL. It's just different. But certainly when we come back around on Friday, by then we'll have a chance to kind of look at it and digest it and figure it out.
Game by game, all 82 now.
That's what we're going to do.
No, that's actually not what we're going to do. We have no intention of doing that at all.
Just month by month then.
Okay, fine. In the meantime, this Matt Ishbia
Come on, let's
story-
do all 82.
No, let's not.
All
And
right,
say
all
we
right,
did.
okay.
If you want to, knock yourself out on your
All right, let's talk
Twitter
about
account.
Matt Ishbia and the information.
The headline in the Wall Street Journal, America's Mortgage King lost $600 million and needed a rescue.
Man, that's a lot of money.
So, and I'm just going to read the story. This is from Ben Glickman of the Wall Street Journal. Matt Ishbia made a fortune by running the largest mortgage lender in the country. He used his wealth to buy the NBA's Phoenix Suns for $4 billion in cash and to build a mansion in Michigan with a trampoline park and a rock climbing wall. The businessman surprised investors last week when he revealed an ill-timed wager had left his company, United Wholesale Mortgage, with a $600 million hole. The Pontiac, Michigan company said it was suspending its common stock payouts and was getting financing from Oak Tree Capital Management, a lender to distressed companies. Shares tanked 35%, leaving them down about 70% this year. Ishbia defended the deal, saying it was a strategic partnership that gave his company access to Oak Tree's expertise in the mortgage sector. He added the infusion eliminates any uncertainty about their near-term funding needs. Now,
yes,
I am not an expert in the mortgage lending business. I certainly am not an expert when it comes to next-level financial reporting like this. So I'm not going to talk out of my you-know-where and act like I know anything about anything. But my goodness, this doesn't sound good for Matt Ishbia.
No, it can't. I mean, it can't be good. I think a lot of the money Matt Ishbia, made over the years was paid through those dividends. I think that's one of the big reasons he was able to purchase the Phoenix Suns is because, him and his brother and his dad and Isaiah Thomas on the board and the dividends that were paid out. There's a lot of dividends paid out to Matt. I don't know the exact number. I did have somebody today that told me it was about $500 million a year in dividends that were paid out, to Matt for that. Now, I'm not saying this is just a number that was told to me by somebody that's in the know. I don't know, but those dividends are paused, right? They're definitely paused, and losing $600 million is something that I think we'll have to look at. People are wondering how it's going to affect the Phoenix Suns. Now, I tweeted out earlier today, and that my belief, based on conversations I've had with different people. And people that have not and several people that have nothing to do with the Suns is that there is a possibility that there is no effect on the Suns, and that's what I tweeted out. I don't believe that this is going to have any initial effect on the Suns. Not the investment in the team, the fans, and the community. I don't think that that's going to change right now. I don't believe it will. Now, again, you never know, right? You never know because this is your cash flow. This is the money that you've got coming in. A lot of people are going to say, how could it, I understand that. How could it not affect you? How could it not affect you when you've got, the dividends aren't coming? I don't know Matt's whole financial picture. I don't know him like that. He still owns stock. The stock is down quite a bit. He still owns stock. So he has that. The dividend is paused. So it's not like they might not go, like if interest rates go down, and everybody starts refinancing again, I'm sure that they'll be fine as a company. But the interest rates didn't go down. I think he gambled on them going down and lost that gamble. So I think that's one of the questions is, the first question people have is it going to affect the Phoenix Suns? The people I spoke to say no. Not right. It's not going to affect the day-to-day business, the investment in the team, the fans, the community. That's not going to change. They're still going to be very charitable. They're still going to do all of those things. Now, if this continues for a long time, then maybe that changes. But right now, my understanding is no change in how things run with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, and that's not knowing whether that's going to be like that for all time. At least it's reassuring to hear that now in the moment because it's the kind of thing that makes you nervous. If you're a Suns fan. I mean, I just don't know how else you're supposed to react to this if you're a Suns fan. Because Matt Ishbia has been so open with his finances in terms of what he's spending on this team. And most importantly, he's been so willing to say, hey, I don't care about tax lines. I don't care about going over the first apron. I don't care about paying the tax. I don't care about doing any of that. This is what I'm going to do to make a better basketball team. I mean, to the point where we were kind of talking before they made the moves they did this offseason about, hey, do they really want to be a repeater tax team? And do they really want to go into the first apron? And Matt's just like, blew right past that. Now, I think the thing to watch for in coming seasons will be, is there a little bit more of a commitment to being careful with tax lines and being careful with aprons? Because if there is, then I think it's safe to assume that this indeed is affecting how he's doing business with the Phoenix Suns. And this is indeed affecting his ability to operate the Suns as aggressively as he has. Matt Ishbia has been extremely aggressive owning and operating the Phoenix Suns. And now I think from this point on, I think it's fair to say we'll all be watching it with a little bit of a stricter eye right now to see if anything changes from this moment forward. Agree?
Well, because that story in the Wall Street Journal, you're talking about this new company coming in, and they're sharks, right? They're sharks. Like, they look at a company that's in trouble and they come in, they get benefits, right? I mean, money goes to them first, right? Preferred stock. Over time, it could be billions of dollars. They're gambling on everything being okay. And obviously, Matt and his it's not only Matt, it's his father, it's his brother. His brother's a private equity guy. I'm sure that, he's got a lot of money. He's a very rich guy. It's family interest. It's not just Matt, it's family. But operating overhead is one thing. There's a certain amount of money you need to operate. And if you lose money and the Suns have lost money, that comes out of your pocket. When I say the Diamondbacks lost $50 or $60 million, well, that just doesn't, you don't just, it's got to be paid somehow. That's your operating overhead. It has to be paid. So, like, the Suns have lost money. That comes out of Matt's pocket. So, to your point, that's something that we'll keep an eye on to see if that changes. My understanding is right now there'll be no changes. Everything will run according to plan. But we'll see what happens over time.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, after I remind you that you can win tickets to 311 before you can buy them, Arizona Sports is giving away 2 pairs of tickets to 311 at Arizona Financial Theater on November 5th. Tickets go on sale Friday. Enter before noon on Thursday at the contest page at arizonasports.com. The Cardinals are done with Glendale. The Cardinals have preseason game number 2 tomorrow. Did they get done what they wanted to get done in Glendale? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Join us for Giveathon Week, August 17th through the 21st. Arizona's kids need you, and we're going to rock the Train phone bank with your help. The Giveathon is presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Y Refi.
Love telling you about Sanderson Ford. They are on 51st Avenue in Glendale, and this is a great time to get yourself into a new car, truck, or SUV at Sanderson Ford. And I'm going to tell you why, because right now you can get 0% financing for 36 months, 0 payments for 90 days, and 0 maintenance fees for 2 years, and $1,000 towards your down payment on select Ford models. Summer will not last forever, which is good, and neither will these deals. That's bad. So hurry in today and choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. We're talking about the 2026 Ford F-150 STX, the 2026 Ford Explorer, and the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport. You're looking at some great prices. 0% financing for 36 months, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 maintenance fees for 2 years, plus $1,000 for your down payment. Online for more information, sandersonford.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
For windows and doors that combine style, performance, and efficiency, come to the Window Depot. We carry a large selection of Milgard windows and patio doors, with many options in stock and available today. Choose from a variety of colors, styles, and energy-efficient designs that can help improve comfort while adding value to your home. From new builds to window replacements, our team can help you find the right Milgard products for your unique project. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you.
Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, where there's big news coming from your service departments.
That's right, Bick. We have slashed prices on major repairs and 12 essential services, from oil changes to brake pads. The savings are incredible, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just go to ChapmanBMW.com, put your VIN number in, and you'll see all the money you're saving. And it doesn't matter where you purchase your BMW.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
At Train, tough comes standard. But real strength isn't just muscle, it's knowing when to flex. HVAC units tough enough for the extremes, but smart enough to know what's next. We engineer for chaos, so your home always stays comfortable. Train, built strong, engineered smart. It's hard to stop a train.
Train is a proud sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital and Champions of Hope, helping provide funding for the hospital's care, life-saving research, and families in need.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
The Burns and Gambo Social Poll.
And for the first time today on this shorter edition of the Burns and Gambo Show, we welcome in Lauren. She's got our poll question of the day here, which you can find at arizonasports.com. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Well, I got a poll question for you today that I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
That is selling it strong.
Yeah, that's my producer tease.
Okay, you're either going to love it or hate it. All right.
Love it or leave it?
If you want to go HGTV, sure.
Wasn't it list it?
Love it or list it. Yes, it was love it or list it.
Ah, damn.
Are you going to love it or list it?
My wife had the show on the other day. They got some new chick on there. It's not the old one. It was the
Not
older
Hillary
lady.
anymore?
Hillary's
I
gone.
can't believe I knew her name.
Hillary's not there anymore.
I don't
some
even
other
watch
some
a
other
lot
lady.
of HGTV.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you knew it
Yeah,
was
it wasn't
Hillary.
Hillary's gone.
Okay, so what's this? What's this poll question?
Now that we've got our HGTV discussion out of the way,
Uh-huh.
who will win more playoff games over the next 3 years?
Oh, jeez.
The Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, or neither will win one?
Yeah, I hate that question. I don't know.
In 3 years?
Who will win more playoff games over the course of the next 3 years?
Kyler Murray.
He plays for a better organization. He plays on a better team. There's way more talent on that football team.
I mean, you just got to base it on where the teams are right now. One team's predicted to win 2 games. The other is predicted to go to the playoffs with a loaded roster.
You both said Kyler and then had the exact same look on your face, which was kind of this deadpan sadness.
3 years is a long time. I mean, 3 years is a long time. You never know what could happen in 3 years.
No, I mean, Kyler could be...
3 years ago, the Diamondbacks were in the World Series. Haven't won a playoff game since. 3 years, they were in the World Series.
I don't like that comp.
What was the Cardinals' record 3 years ago?
3 years ago, we were going into year 1 of Jonathan Gannon. That's how much has changed there. 3 years ago, we were putting our stock in Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal to lead the Suns, and look where that worked out. So, yeah, Vikings. Kyler.
Kyler. All right, 51% going with neither will win one. 26% going with Kyler Murray, and 23% going with the Arizona Cardinals.
I see. Here's the thing. I was so busy not liking the poll question, I forgot about the option about neither.
Yeah, neither will win one, leading the way.
Neither's an interesting option. Like, neither will do it. I don't know.
Well, then you just believe that Kyler's going to get him to the playoffs and do what he did when they played the Rams here, flop.
Or that he's not going to get him to the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Or that he's not going to be the quarterback who quarterbacks them in the playoffs. That he gets hurt again.
Or he's not going to be on the Minnesota Vikings this entire tenure.
Okay, but he could go somewhere else and win a playoff game, and that would still count.
He could.
He could.
I mean, Cleveland's available.
Deshaun Watson starting the preseason game 1 for them.
It brings up a good question. If he fails in Minnesota, what is next for Kyler Murray? What would even be next for Kyler? If he spends a year in Minnesota and he's just or they're just and it doesn't work very well, I've never really thought
Baker
about this
leaves
before.
the Bucks. He goes to the Bucks.
Kyler goes to the Bucks.
Baker leaves.
Okay.
Because he didn't get a contract done. He goes to the Bucks.
But would Kyler have earned another opportunity to be a starting quarterback in this league if he can't
depends
get
on
it
how he
done in
plays,
Minnesota?
right?
Yeah.
Jets.
Huh.
The Jets.
Yeah.
Whatever team doesn't get a top 3 quarterback in the draft next year and loses out.
Yeah.
Go get Kyler.
Or is he just a solid backup
Or
on
is he
a
just a
mediocre
backup?
team?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But
I don't
after
think
a-
he's a backup yet.
Even after a year of mediocre play?
We've said this. He's never going to be a bottom 10 quarterback in the league. He's always going to be, maybe the ceiling's higher than with another team. The ceiling's higher, but the floor's not lower.
Yeah.
He's he's been a middle of the pack quarterback. There's room to go up. I don't think he could go down unless he's just injured and doesn't play.
I just think if he fails in this particular situation, or if he doesn't succeed, whichever way you want to phrase it, in this situation, with the coach he's got on the organization that he's with, I don't think teams are going to be tripping over themselves to go get Kyler Murray anymore, thinking he's the answer to their problems. I think they'll look at him and go, yep, like if this doesn't work out for you, you're not going to work out anywhere. There's nowhere that can get the best out of Kyler Murray if Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings can't get the best out of you. If it doesn't work there, you don't agree with that? I don't think teams will be in a rush to get him if it doesn't work out.
So the problem is, and I understand what you're saying, I don't disagree with you. The problem is that there are so many bad quarterbacks in this league that he is better than Geno Smith. Like, there are a lot of bad quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah.
And so one team might say, oh,
maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
How many teams was Sam Darnold on before he popped?
God, I've lost track.
How many teams, right? Baker. Didn't Baker go to Carolina?
And went to the Rams.
And the Rams? Why didn't he pop there? He kept getting other chances. That's what I'm saying. I just think that there's so many bad quarterbacks in the league. Guys get chances.
You know what? That's a good. The Sam Darnold Baker Mayfield comp that's interesting and that's good. You give me something to think about. Cardinals tomorrow. Training camp is over for them. We will see the starters. Reports out of Vegas.
One or two downs.
Word is out of the Raiders that you're going to see a lot of Fernando Mendoza tomorrow in the game. I mean, prompting some to remind everybody this is a national championship potential rematch between Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza if they are head-to-head against each other in the game. I think since we won't have a chance to talk about it tomorrow, I think if we're talking about what we learned out of training camp and what we're going to apply to tomorrow's game because of it, I think one of the big things to watch for will be the offensive line for the Cardinals because our own Tyler Drake's got a story kind of recapping camp and how it's been. And one of the first things he mentioned was that the offensive line had a really, really rough training camp. Darius Robinson was in the backfield. It felt like every other play. And the offensive line really didn't do anything.
It's a great point by Tyler.
To make them feel like, okay, this question has been answered and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, you could have the best ship out there, but if there's a leak in the bow, right? Yeah, that ship's going down.
Yeah.
So you could sit there and say, the quarterback plays fine. The tight end's great. The wide receivers are great. The running backs are okay. They can't block or protect to save their lives.
What does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Like, that's like the true. You could have, you could look at this shiny new car. And it's got new tires, and it's the body works great. And it's got a great stereo system. The engine's not very good. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, you start the car, you're like, this sounds terrible. Like, so if the offensive line is not good, it's going to affect everything else.
Yeah.
It's going to affect all the other parts of that offense.
Will we get the answer to that tomorrow night against the Raiders? No, of course not. But I think it's one of the things that really bears watching because you're absolutely right. It's the Cardinals, if you stand back and look at it from 30,000 feet, look like they have an offense that could do some damage this year with a new head coach, an offensive-minded head coach, all the skill position players, a competent quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. But if that offensive line is junk, it's not going to matter. That's going to be something to watch. Jeremiah Love, Tyler Algier, I think is going to be something to watch in the preseason game tomorrow. But mostly it's going to be Carson Beck part 2, right?
The offensive line is a really good one, right? Because Beck didn't have starters on the offensive line out there, and he wasn't facing first-team defenses. So take it with a grain of salt. who was it? Luke McCown, I mentioned yesterday, was like, hey, tap the brakes. Let's not get too excited about this kid yet. That game was a nothing game. Now we'll see how things change when the first team offensive line is out there. And if things don't go very well, you're not going to have any time to throw the damn football.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, Merrill Kelly set the tone early. Unfortunately, it was not the good kind of tone that he set early. And now we have wonder to ask if he's doing okay. And we'll explain next on the Burns and Gambo show.
Bickley and Marotta mornings.
I've done a full, complete change of heart when it comes to what I think about this. After witnessing football teams that are woefully unprepared to play in week one and to win in week one, I really believe the team needs to go a little more hardcore and use these reps for the betterment of the team. If it's good enough for Andy Reid, it should be good enough for the Arizona Cardinals.
Do you know how many fast food restaurants have used the slogan, if it's good enough for Andy Reid, it should be good enough for you?
Bickley and Marotta, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, back here for Global Credit Union, 24/7, 365 live U.S.-based customer support. What does that mean? It means if you're like me and you've got a membership at Global Credit Union, you're a member of Global Credit Union, and you have a checking account there or a savings account or a loan there, and you have any questions at all, about your money, your finances, the state of things, and you need an answer to that question, 24/7, 365, live U.S.-based customer support. I used it a couple weeks ago on a Saturday. We were in Flagstaff. It wasn't like a pressing emergency, but it was going to drive me kind of nuts if I didn't get an answer to it. So I called, I spoke to somebody, I got all the questions answered that I needed, and we could just kind of go on with our vacation and not worry about it. If it were a bank, I wouldn't have been able to get an answer at a bank. They would have had me wait until Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern time to get an answer. That is one of the things I love about Global Credit Union. Joining is really simple. You can become a member, sign up online by going to globalcu.org or stop by any of their 9 Phoenix area branches. Global Credit Union, better rates, fewer fees, real savings, and the kind of service that makes your money work smarter for you.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250, micro. And yes, I told you so.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Arizona's premier college football event is about to kick off the season, and you can win a staycation package for the UMB Bank Fiesta Sports Foundation football kickoff presented by the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess on August 21st. 2 tickets to the luncheon, a 2-night stay at the Princess, and a VIP meet and greet with a pair of college football legends, Mike Gundy and Jack Swarbrick. Kick off the season like a VIP. Enter for your chance to win on the contest page at arizonasports.com.
By the time August rolls around, you've stopped being surprised by the heat. You walk outside, you get in your car, and wait for the AC to catch up. And at the end of the day, the one place you need to be cool is home. Your AC has been running since May, morning, noon, and night. And when it stays hot overnight, it never gets a rest. It just keeps grinding until something gives. At Gettle, we've been doing this for over 85 years. We know what a summer like this does to a system. Call us and make sure your home is the one place the heat can't follow you. GOETTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes, and here is what's trending now. Diamondbacks just wrapped up their series finale against the Rockies. A very frustrating end to what ended up being a frustrating series. The Snakes had 11 hits, 10 walks, and ended up stranding 15 runners on base in a 6-4 loss this afternoon. In positive news, Corbin Carroll hit his 100th career home run. It was his 18th of this regular season. Arizona will now hit the road. They start a 3-game set with the Braves in Atlanta on Friday. Other Diamondbacks news, Paul Sewald, who was designated for assignment on Monday, was claimed by the Blue Jays today. The reigning American League champs are currently 2.5 games back of that final American League wildcard spot. And the full NBA schedule will release tomorrow, but today we learned who the Suns will play in their NBA Cup group. They will host the Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks and then travel on the road to face the Utah Jazz and Houston Rockets. Their first group game will be October 30th against Denver. This report is brought to you by Rip Valley. Meet Phoenix big man Kaman Malawach and get an autograph on Saturday, August 22nd from 3 to 5 p.m. at Rip Valley in downtown Phoenix. Visit ripvalley.com for more details.
Hey, it's Wolf. Which Cardinal players will we be watching in tomorrow's preseason game against the Raiders? We'll be previewing the game tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
The 3-1. Sullivan hits it high and deep towards right. If it's fair, it's gone. It is off the pole. Home run, Brett Sullivan. His 6th. And the Rockies take a 4-1 lead in the second.
That's the 9-hole hitter, Brett Sullivan, for those of you keeping track at home. Merrill Kelly. 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, and now dealing with questions of diminished velocity. His fastball was down by about 1.5 miles per hour. Troy Lavello noticed it. Others who were watching the game noticed it. And
you mentioned he had a great July.
Yes.
He was great in July.
Yes, he was.
His last 3 starts, it was a bad Guardian start, a really good Dodger start. That's the one he left with cramping. And then this one, which wasn't very good. So 2 out of the last 3, a little bit shaky, but a great July.
Great July.
In which he was lights out for like 5 starts. The velocity, you know, I will just tell you that I know in speaking with the Tigers about Casey Mize, there was a game where his velocity went down and everybody was questioning it. And what I was told is, he was coming off of cramping, and that's why the velocity was down.
Yeah. And
so I just wonder if that's like typical, because, again, my information on Casey Mize, hey, listen, everybody, you know, Diamondbacks are trying to trade for this guy. His velocity was down. It was only 1 start. The velocity came down because he was dealing with some cramping.
I'm not trying to make any big picture judgments about Merrill Kelly because he hasn't pitched well in 2 out of his last 3 games. I mean, he did have a fantastic July, and he was a big reason why the Diamondbacks got back into this. I'm concerned for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm concerned because it was a really bad day for Merrill Kelly to have a really bad day. That's number one. I mean, the Diamondbacks, I don't know if you heard it, and Mitch, if you mentioned this in What's Trending Now, I apologize. Padres walked off the Brewers, so they picked up a game on you in the standings. They've won 15 of their last 19 games.
They're hot.
Now.
They're hot, and their offense is starting to come on.
And I believe we'll look at this a little later on the show. I think their schedule coming up is really, 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 really light for the next week or two. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So number one, a bad day for Merrill to have a bad day, and number two, without knowing the reason why, diminished velocity it's concerning, until you know why. Yeah, I don't want to say it means everything, but I also don't want to say it means nothing either. I don't know what it means if Merrill Kelly has diminished velocity, because today that's not a lineup that should have given him the problems that it did with the walks and the long ball and things like that. He gave up one dude's first career home run. He gave up a 3-run shot.
Did he
to the
say anything
nine-hole
after the game?
Oh, he was pissed. Oh, he was mad.
I have not heard this.
Neither
This will be
have
the
I.
first time that I'm hearing this.
This is a full minute and a half of
Merrill
Merrill Kelly's post-game scrum, and I'm told from Mitch Ferreldis that he is not happy.
Merrill, just kind of a tough one. Seemed like your velocity was down a little bit. Was everything okay out there?
Was everything okay out there?
Physically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, felt fine. It just wasn't coming out today.
Generally, how did this stuff feel beyond the velocity?
Not good.
Right away, bullpen, nothing really felt right.
Bullpen actually felt good. Just once we got into the game, it just once we got in the game, it just wasn't cooperating today.
One of those days, so to speak.
As opposed to not one of those days.
Do you not know what I'm saying?
Huh? No, but if it wasn't one of those days, what would it be? If it was a good day, would it not be one of those
mechanics
days?
were off, but there was something else going on.
Yeah, it was just not one of those days. It's just a bad day.
How frustrating is the series overall for you guys coming off that nice win over the Dodgers in the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think any series loss right now is frustrating with what we're trying to do. I think that's probably one of the most frustrating parts about today. Everybody's fighting hard to do their job, and I feel like I didn't hold up my end of. I feel like I just didn't do my job today. I didn't. The boys did a good job of fighting there at the end, putting together some good at bats, some good innings, scoring some runs, and I just feel like I didn't help them today.
So not the yelling and screaming mad, but clearly the tense kind of back and forth at the beginning.
Almost.
No, I mean, just sort of. I'm going to give you really short answers.
As opposed to what? Like that one, that answer.
Yeah, that answer at the end. It seemed like he was more willing to give answers about the series loss than he was about his own personal state.
Well, the point about as opposed to what, having a good outing,
Yeah, like it was definitely laced with a little bit of edginess there for the first 45 seconds. So
I had a bad outing. I had a bad outing, and then you just have to question. I mean, the question I think that should have been asked is this is the outing after the cramping. You had cramping. You came out of the Dodger game. How did you respond in the week afterwards? He said he had a good bullpen, but could that have been an issue? Again, when I spoke to the Tigers on Casey Mize, he was coming off of cramping issues the previous outing. He executed well. He hit 95, went 6 innings, 3 hits. I was checking on Casey Mize because everybody was reporting his velocity was down. Here's the real reason Casey Mize isn't pitching tonight. He sat at 94 with his slowest four-seamer hitting 93. Then he sat at 91. It was cramping, and it caused him to have a velocity drop. Is it possible that the cramping in the Dodger series had anything to do with the velocity drop? Because it did for Casey Mize in Detroit before he got traded to the Padres.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Right. But that could, I wonder if it's as simple as that.
It could be. But it just leaves look. It's Merrill, and if there's anybody who's earned the benefit of the doubt, it's Merrill Kelly over the years with what he's done. And
he's my favorite Diamondback pitcher.
Certainly with the July he had, what you would hate to have happen is here we are celebrating the return of Michael Soroka. Justin Martinez is really, really close. Jordan Lawler is really, really close. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by Monday's show, both of those dudes are back in a Diamondbacks uniform. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So in this moment when you're building this momentum towards starting to really put some distance between you and everybody else in the wild card race and really starting to lay claim to it, You have a 5-5 homestand. You drop a series to the Colorado Rockies. Now you've got questions about Merrill Kelly's velocity and whether there's a dip and if anything's causing that. You've got an offense, and believe me, Merrill Kelly was only part of the problem today. The offense was, we'll get into that in a minute. It was awful today. It felt like, you said it a minute ago, and you're totally right. Everything that you gained coming off of that series win against the Dodgers, gone. It feels like you just gave it right all back. You just gave it right back with this series loss.
Can't do that. Listen, it's going to come down to the last week of the season. There's not going to be any real separation here. If it is, it's more people feel confident in the Padres' ability to separate with the way they're playing than the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. But this was a golden opportunity to win another series, hold serve. You don't want to fall behind. They're not behind. They're still in a wild card spot right now, tied with the Phillies. There's a tiebreaker there. That's not going to be determined until the future. But the more teams that are in it, the better. You don't want it to come down to just you and another team. So this was a terrible, terrible series, especially after you won that first game. You won the first game, and Brad pitched well yesterday. And you jumped out to a 2-0 lead with homers by Corbin and Cattell, and you're feeling good about that. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped hitting. Like, after the first inning, there was just no hit. And we'll talk about the offense in a second. But the frustrating part is that this is a team that's on pace to lose 100 games for the 4th straight year.
Yeah.
And you let them come into your building and beat you, and they're only playing to avoid losing 100. You're playing to get to the damn playoffs.
I know we're late for a break. I do want to add this about the cramping, though. I mean, it's not like the cramping issue is new for Merrill Kelly. This has been going on for 4 years. And he's always seemed to bounce back from it just fine in years past. Agreed?
Yes.
So I don't think we can blame entirely what happened today on him cramping up in his last start, because him cramping, it's literally a 4-year issue for him. And every time he does it, he seems to find a way to be just fine afterwards. That's been part of Merrill's magic.
Just wonder if it's just the first thought afterwards. They always look for a reason in the drop in velocity, right? They're always going to look for, why was there a drop in velocity? And I don't have the answer to it. And they're going to search high and low to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Win 2 tickets to the UMB Bank Fiesta Sports Foundation kickoff experience at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess, plus a 2-night staycation. Arizona's premier college football kickoff event is on August 21st. Register to win at the contest page at arizonasports.com. 11 hits, 10 walks, 4 runs. What has happened to that Diamondbacks offense in this series? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
I don't think this is crazy to say. Maybe people will disagree. I'm not saying the Diamondbacks are the second best team in baseball. I'm not saying that. Like, the Dodgers are clearly the best. I don't have record, whatever. But, I mean, you get into the postseason, that's the 2-time defending champs, and they just go out and add all-stars each year. But as far as if you were making a list, like a short list of teams, if you want the Dodgers out of the postseason, who you want to play the Dodgers, I think the Diamondbacks have to be at the very top of the list. It's not that they're necessarily better than some of these other teams. They play the Dodgers better than pretty much anybody does.
Good matchup.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about asset preservation, wealth, and tax. Stuart Willis, a fiduciary right here in Arizona, putting together the financial plan so that you can have that financial future secure. Set, secure, loaded, locked, ready to go. Retiring on your terms, right? Not somebody else's terms. Somebody else's terms might be retire at 65, 67. Look, everything that I study is like, there's a certain point in your life where, you start to slow down. Your body's aging. Chronic illness comes in. If you're going to retire late, it may take away some of the prime years that you have to do the things that you want to do. So if you could retire earlier, it might be better for you to do those things. But you have to be financially secure to do it, which is why I want you to get that free portfolio review, get that plan in place for yourself so you can execute that plan and go out on your terms. That's why I want you to call this number right now and get that free portfolio review with Stuart Willis, the same guy I use. It's 602-877-PLAN. That's 602-877-PLAN. Or go to assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The Windy City comes to the Arizona desert as the D-backs host the Chicago Cubs at Chase Field starting August 24th. Get your tickets for the matchup at dbacks.com.
Oh, hey, Sarah.
Here to pick up your little camper, too?
Yeah.
Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
Wow, that's a big deal.
We got a big deal, too. Right, Mom?
Honey, shh. That was our little secret.
What's that?
Okay, see that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
It feels like I got away with something. I only paid...
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the Hyundai you've always wanted, plus America's best warranty at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Come on, Katie. We're taking the scenic route to the dealership.
It's a great day for a new Hyundai at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, going on now.
Get 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. See your Valley Hyundai dealer. Offers end September 8th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
My uncle's Maytag washer lasted over 37 years. His motto, buy once, cry once. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. When I started at A1 Garage Door Service, I thought about my uncle's Maytag. Most garage door springs get about 10,000 cycles or 3 to 5 years. Our Max Life springs last over 100,000 cycles. That's a minimum of 30 years. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Are you planning a home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated with no installers and no middlemen, so you save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to americafirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. Join us for a Football Thursday. We'll get you prepped up for Cardinals Raiders. Tune in at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports, the Arizona Sports app, the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
That was a rough one. I was proud of the guys for the way they kept building innings. We throw up 21 base runners and can't crack through. So, it's one of the things we got to get better at. We're going to continue to coach them up the best way we know how. And, if you were to tell me we're going to have 21 base runners before the game, I would tell you that we're going to score 10 runs at least. So we only scored 4. So we can identify the areas that we got to get better. And I know the guys are going to work hard to come out on Friday with a clean slate and figure out how to win a baseball game. And play a really clean game in all areas.
Our own Kellen Olson, who host of Arizona Sports at Night, in addition to being our Suns guru, pointed out on Twitter, Gambo, an hour ago, that the Diamondbacks just became the first team since 2019 to have 10 or more hits, 10 or more walks, and score less than 5 runs. Hasn't happened since 2019.
Wow.
10 or more hits, 10 or more walks, 5 runs or less. Torrey just said it a second ago. If you had told me before the game, 21 base runners, and I would have said we scored 10 runs.
Pathetic. It's just like nobody wants to come through with a clutch hit when they need it. It's 15 left on base in the Dodger game. They lost it 2-1. 15 left on base today, and they lose the game. And, it's mind-boggling to think that you can put that many guys. Like, to Torrey's point, like, it's great that we're getting all these guys on base, but, man, where's the clutch gene? Where's the guy coming up with the big hit? Ryan Waldschmidt hit that game-winning walk-off homer against the Dodgers, and the next day he had 2 chances to win. Today he had a big chance with the bases loaded. He hits into a double play. I like Ryan Waldschmidt. He's a big part of their future. That was big. Arenado had that epic at bat the other day. They lost the game. He had that incredible epic at bat with all those pitches fouling off, but it led to an out. And then today, we're watching it, and it was a ball, and he didn't challenge it, and it ended up being 2 strikes, and then he ends up grounding out to third. Mm-hmm. It was. I can't remember. It was a force out short. It's just, man, the inability to come up with the clutch hit is killing this team right now. And to me, I've always disliked they stop scoring. It's like they just stop scoring. I was worried about that in the Dodger game the other day. They got up on him, and it was like early, and then 5, 6, 7 innings, not scoring any runs. I hope this doesn't come back to bite him on the ass, because I'm getting used to this team stopping. They usually stop scoring runs.
Yeah, that's what made Monday's game against the Rockies so refreshing. They get the grand slam from Arenado in the first, and then they immediately go out in the second, and they add 3 more.
But then they stopped for 4 or 5 innings.
They did, but then they scored a couple at the end, too.
Too late, yes.
To really tack on it. But I liked the follow-up in the second inning rather than just coasting on the first inning. And even last night's game, you get the home run from Carroll, you get the home run from Marte, and it felt like you were setting a similar tone to the night before. Like, hey, the Colorado Rockies are an inferior team. We're going to jump on them early, and we're going to call this a night, and we're going to rob them of their spirit. And instead, what do they have? 3 hits the rest of the game after the third inning last night?
Is that what it was?
I think that's what it was. I think they went in a complete shutdown
they hit
mode.
those 2 home runs, the 2 solo home runs, which that pitcher gives up a lot of solo home runs. That was the key to the game, is that he gives up a lot of solo shots. Carroll, Marte get one, and you feel good about the way things go in the first inning. But then that was it. They allowed him to settle down. They allowed him to get into a little bit of a groove, and then they just stopped scoring. And that's very frustrating to me. Now, I don't know if they've got to start playing a different brand of baseball. Tack-on runs are so important for this team. And when they don't tack on runs, it's trouble. So maybe they got to play a little bit different brand of baseball to start manufacturing runs.
It just felt like we had kind of come out of those dark days of, when exactly was that? June, early July, when the runners in scoring position was just on a nightly basis. It was so bad and so frustrating. And so it was a tough watch. Diamondbacks baseball for about a month there was a real tough watch because they just were so poor with runners in scoring position. I think it was mostly for the month of June when it was especially bad. And it felt like we had gotten out of that. Not that the Diamondbacks were elite at it, but they had gotten a little bit better. But then between what happened with the Dodgers game on Saturday and then these last 2 games today in particular, and again, the trade deadline is barely a week old, and I think one of the things that will continue to be talked about with this team, depending on how things play out the next 40 games, will be, did they do enough at the trade deadline? Did they give themselves the reinforcements they should have at the trade deadline? Yes, They added Lars Nootbaar. He hasn't contributed a whole lot lately.
He's done nothing.
It's still kind of a black hole over at first base. They really haven't gotten the production they want out of that.
Are we going to talk about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah, we should, because
they used 10 different players at first base, led by Eldemaro Vargas. He's hitting 215, 216. Their first baseman have been 44% worse than the league average first baseman when it comes to all of the numbers, OPS plus and stuff like that. Their first base production will be the worst since the 2018 Orioles got a 53 OPS from their first baseman. And then they didn't go out and get anybody. And it's like they tried. Carlos Santana was the guy they got. It'll be interesting to see if they could add somebody. There was a story today talking about other players that could be, let go as teams try to save a little bit of money here and there. If they find out they're out of it, could the Diamondbacks benefit from that and add somebody? We'll see. I'm sure that they would like to do that, but their batting average is first base, 29th in baseball. On-base percentage, 30th. Slugging, 30th. OPS, 30th. WAR, 30th. Brutal. 10 different players at first base. Nobody's giving him anything.
But this also speaks directly to the conversation we've had the last few days about the untouchability of Ryan Waldschmidt. Because I can only imagine if they had made Ryan Waldschmidt available, they could have addressed that if they wanted to. I would imagine if Ryan Waldschmidt were available, we could be having a Luis Garcia Jr. conversation at first base for the Diamondbacks had they chosen to make him available, and they didn't. I'm not saying that was right or wrong.
They should have at least had Lowe.
Well,
That was they should have had. They tried. They tried to get him.
We talked about that at the deadline. The Guardians did not give up very much to get Nathaniel Lowe.
No, and they might just. I wonder if they would just. I wonder if they would let him go. But he's got 1 home run and 6 RBIs in 5 games with them so far. So,
and I think they gave up a prospect who was, if he was in their top 30, he was barely in their top 30 to get him. I mean, it's not like they gave up
5 for 17, 1 double, 1 home run, 6 RBIs.
That's what Nathaniel Lowe's batting right now for the Guardians since he got traded there?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to do quick math with the batting average, but he's got he's got 5 hits in 8, 12, 17 at bats. 5 for 17, so it's about 300, a little bit over 300. 333 would be 5 for 15. He's 5 for 17. I'm going to guess that's around 305, 310. But he's got a home run. He's got 6 runs batted in. So, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good production. I wish they had that.
Now, if they had beaten the Rockies today like they were supposed to, yeah, we'd be a little bothered, but we'd be okay with it. But instead, you lost. The Padres won. You've got really tough 6 games coming up on the road. Really, really, really tough. And not that you're going to lose this. Well, not that you're going to win or lose this thing in the next 6 games, but you could, if you're not careful, and this road trip gets a little sideways on you, depending on what the Padres do, you could find yourself in a position where you're leaving yourself with a lot of work to do with about 35 games to go if you're not careful. A lot of work to do. And your offense, once again, has put himself kind of back into that question mark of, can you get it done with this offense the way it's built right now? Because Max Kepler, he had a couple hits today, but he's not given them much lately. Newtbar hasn't been the injection that we were kind of hoping. Who knows? Maybe when Jordan Lawler comes back, maybe he becomes the guy who sparks something a little bit offensively.
Look, I'll tell you this right now. If one of the other 2 teams are going to run away with it, I prefer it be the Padres over the Phillies.
Because
if you go into the final 3 games and the Padres got a spot locked up and they can't go up or they can't go down, they're not going to pitch anybody.
And you still
they're not going to pitch anybody. Yeah. They're going to line up their rotation. You're not going to get their best guys, and you've got to beat them. I would prefer the Padres be the team that jumps out, not the Phillies.
We'll come back on the Burns and Gambo show. ASU up in familiar territory. They're at Camp Tonazona, who's standing out for the Sun Devils as they head up to Camp T. That's next on the Burns and Gambo show.
Get ready. Give-a-thon week runs August 17th through the 21st.
Benefiting Phoenix Children's. Give-a-thon! Presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Wi-Fi.
Right back here for Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria, or you can shop and buy online all the time at libertygmcaz.com. You want SUVs? They got SUVs at Liberty GMC, the best GMC SUVs, including the GMC Terrain. You can lease one right now for just $299 a month, or you can buy one by saving up to $6,000. You can get up to $4,750 off a 2026 GMC Acadia, or take advantage of 4.9% financing. And if you want the flagship SUV of GMC, you've got the Yukons, new 2026 GMC Yukons. They're arriving on the daily with leases starting at just $699 a month. And don't forget, their back-to-school special is going on right now with their service department. Schedule any service appointment from 2 until 7 p.m., and you'll get $50 off that service department if you schedule it from 2 until 7. It's all at Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Online all the time, libertygmcaz.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Summer. Sonoran Hot Dogs baseball games and triple-digit temperatures. When Phoenix turns up the heat, keep your home running smoothly with American Home Shield. An AHS home warranty can help protect your wallet from pricey breakdowns on even your oldest appliances and systems like your AC, plumbing, or fridge. If they can't repair your covered item, they'll replace it. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty. Sign up today at ahs.com. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried tolerate any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Dan Bickley here, and when life throws you a curveball, Life Changer Loan helps you knock it out of the park. And that is because in times of unrest and financial uncertainty, you have the power to pay down, pay off, or borrow back whenever you want, and you become instantly more liquid by always having access to your equity. And remember, it's not magic, it's just math. Find out more by calling 480-504-0844, online at lifechangerloan.com.
Speaking of magic, I mean, I could probably make the case that Dr. Jay Schwartz is like a magician. You go in there, you're struggling with your vision, you don't see very good, you got glasses, you got contacts, you got readers, you go to the Schwartz Laser Eye Center, and boom, you could do magic all of a sudden. Now, you walk out of there, you go home, you take a nap, you open up your eyes, no glasses, no contacts, no readers, you're looking around, you're like, wow, this is unbelievable, I see great. I feel like I'm 18 years old again. I've never seen this good in my life. That's the magic of Dr. Jay Schwartz and a vision correction procedure. Whether it's LASIK surgery or the camera inlay or the clear lens exchange, there is very, very likely a vision correction procedure for you. Let Dr. Jay Schwartz help. Locations in Glendale, Scottsdale, and Mesa. He's almost like a magician when it comes to taking care of your eyes. You'll be amazed at the work that he does. Him and his staff are second to none. That's why I had my vision correction done there. All you have to do is call him at 480-483-EYES or go online at teamidoc.com.
I'm Mitch Vareldis, and here is what's trending now. Diamondbacks just wrapped up their series finale against the Rockies, a frustrating end to what ended up being a frustrating series. The Snakes walked 10 times, had 11 hits, and they stranded 15 runners on base in a 6-4 loss this afternoon. Positive news, however, Corbin Carroll hit his 100th career home run. It was his 18th that he's hit this season. Arizona now hits the road. They start a 3-game set with the Braves in Atlanta on Friday. Other Diamondbacks news, Paul Sewald, who was designated for assignment on Monday, was claimed by the Blue Jays today. The reigning American League champs currently 2.5 games back of the final AL wildcard spot. And the full NBA schedule will release tomorrow, but today the Suns announced who they will play in the NBA Cup group stage. They will host the Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks, and they will travel on the road to face the Utah Jazz and Houston Rockets. Their first group game will be October 30th against Denver. This report is brought to you by Four Peaks. Text SEATS to 620-620 for your chance to win tickets to the Monday, August 24th Diamondbacks home game against the Chicago Cubs. Plus, you'll get food and beverage credit. That's SEATS, S-E-A-T-S, to 620-620.
Hey, it's Wolf. Which Cardinal players will we be watching in tomorrow's preseason game against the Raiders? We'll be previewing the game tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
All right, welcome back to the Burns and Gambo show. Meant to bring this up when we were talking about the Suns earlier and that Matt Ishbia story.
Yes.
There was one other item about the Suns we didn't have a chance to get to. I just want to do it here. Yeah, Haywood Highsmith got waived by the Phoenix Suns today.
Yeah, and if he clears waivers, they'll bring him back.
Okay.
So there's I know Mitch is thinking Haywood Highsmith, if he clears waivers, the Suns will bring him back. There's a method to the madness.
That one little look by Mitch just threw Gambo for a loop.
It's because I even one of these.
First of all, he has to clear waivers. Okay, so that's why I don't want to comment on it. But he's got to clear waivers. If somebody picks him up, then he doesn't. But just remember this. If Haywood Highsmith does clear waivers, the Suns will very likely bring him back.
Okay.
Do you think they're clearing money to offer for somebody else, potentially?
No.
That's already on the roster, I should clarify.
No. You worried about like a Miles Bridges extension?
Just wondering.
They're going to work on that. I mean, that's going to be in the works. They certainly didn't trade for Miles Bridges to have him play for a year and then leave. They're going to try to get an extension done with him. I don't think the Highsmith thing has anything to do with it. But mark my words, let's just wait and see if he clears. If he clears and they bring him back, we'll explain the whole process and why it happened that way.
Okay.
Just more
Mark those words, dang it.
It's a complicated thing, and I know everybody's asking me on what are you talking about? They just let the guy go. How are they bringing him back? I mean, there is something to it, but let's just see if he clears. I don't know if he doesn't clear, it doesn't matter, right? Then he's not going to. If he clears, then I will talk about it more.
Sorry, we're just all very amused by the mark my words. Mark my words.
Did I say that?
Write this day down.
Shoot.
You felt like a pirate.
Mark my words, matey.
Matey.
I'm going to come back and tell you why they did the things they did.
I always liked
my words.
I always liked the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney when my kids were young and I went.
Still one of my favorites.
I always loved that ride.
Still might be my favorite.
Like I always like that.
No,
you get a little splash on you. You get a little. You get wet because the thing goes down. I always liked that. And then was it Peter Pan? I like that one.
Okay, that
the
one
Peter Pan
didn't
one.
move the needle much for me.
Not a Captain Hook guy, Burns.
Yeah, not really. The Pirates of the Caribbean one, we used to go to Disneyland all the time as a kid growing up here in Arizona, and I always thought that people who ate inside the restaurant at Pirates of the Caribbean had to be the richest people in the world because that just seemed like the nicest thing in the world. Like, oh my God, those people must be millionaires. You have
to be a millionaire just to eat in the park at all.
They're having lunch. They're having dinner in the Pirates of the Caribbean, right? So the last time my wife and I went, we got into the restaurant and it was like a lifelong dream to be able to have a meal. And I was like, okay,
I did it. I've arrived.
I did that. I can check that box now. Not that I'm a millionaire, because
then you sat there for 3 hours just to hold your seat and be like, I'm still here.
You walked in, you asked for a glass, and you said, "Why is the rum always gone?"
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. All right, so Mark Gambo's words.
Let's see what Haywood Highsmith was waived. I expect that if he clears waivers, the Suns will bring him back. If they do bring him back, there'll be a backstory to it, and we'll be able to talk about it then. But let's just see what happens.
Kenny Dillingham the other day talked about what it meant going back to Camp T because they're there now.
Yeah, I love Camp T. I mean, it's something that they can never forget. Like, it's something that you'll remember the rest of your life. It's something, traditions are kind of dying a little bit in college sports in terms of stuff like that, right? Hard traditions. Like things that are challenging, old school things are kind of dying. And for us to still have an old school kind of environment that we get to go to and just kind of bond together is special.
This is going to be a really interesting year for Kenny Dillingham. Not the kind where you have to produce or else. This is a really interesting year for him because there's just not a lot of talk about his program in 2026 in the sense of their ability to compete this year.
I think losing the players that they lost, not only did they lose players in the draft like Jordan Tyson, they also lost their quarterback, Sam Levitt, who went to LSU.
Most of the attention in the conference is going to Texas Tech, even though they don't have their quarterback.
Well, because they miss BYU. They don't have to play BYU. They don't have to play Utah. People think they're going to cruise through the non-conference schedule, and that they've got, even with no Brendan Sorsby, that they are still loaded and will be the best team in the conference.
Most of the attention in the state seems like it's going toward U of A.
Yeah.
And coming off the year that they had, they've got their quarterback, Noah Fafita. I mean, it's really in the unknown of the transfers that Kenny Dillingham has brought in. And he can talk them up, and they can get talked up all they want. And, Cutter Boley, maybe he's going to be all that. Amarian Miller, maybe he is going to be all that. But until we see it, in terms of known commodities, Arizona's getting more of the attention than ASU is right now. It's been a real...
Brennan had a really miserable first year, and everybody thought that they were going to be loaded because, they had the wide receiver and the quarterback coming back, and then they suffered. And then last year, they surprised some people. They were good. They were competitive. They were a good team last year. They were a good football team. And now people think with Fafita back again, Fafita's going to be one of those guys you look at, and you're going to say, that guy was just a great college quarterback.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, he's not going to go to the pros and be this great, but he was just a really good college quarterback. My favorite college quarterback at all time didn't do anything, didn't even make it to the pros. Tommy Frazier, loved him. Best quarterback I've ever seen. I think Fafita's got a chance to be just a special college quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. We all love Kenny Dillingham. We all love what Kenny Dillingham has done. Kenny obviously had the hammer this offseason with the Michigan interest, and he used it, and he got what he wanted out of that. And like I say, there's no pressure on Kenny to, you better have a good season or else. He's not in that spot, of course. But I'm not sensing there are a lot of expectations for ASU football this year. And who knows, maybe that's the time he does his best work. It was kind of similar to how it was 2 years ago. The year they went to the Peach Bowl and the year they won the Big 12. They weren't serious. They picked last in the Big 12, for goodness sakes. I don't know what to make of ASU, because when they do start playing football, man, what a weird year it's going to be for them. Game 2 of the season, they have to go to College Station and play Texas A&M on the road. That ain't going to be easy. And then from there, they fly right to London to play Kansas. I don't think Kansas is going to be that good, but that's going to be different, right? Like adjusting
crazy.
And all that.
I wish we could go.
Then they have a bye week. And then after that bye week, they come back. They don't have a bye week the rest of the season. They just play straight football.
We can get you to the Guinness Factory. You can get your face on a beer.
In England?
Oh,
in London?
Not in London. That's in Ireland. That's in Dublin. I messed that one up.
They're going to London.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, instead they print your face on a thing of tartar sauce.
Yeah. Like, how could I know that? Because, listen, we did,
Kenny Dillingham's face on fish and chips.
Devils in London for 14 weeks.
They play October 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, 31st, November 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th. I mean, they just go. They don't play. There's no bye week in there. They just go. And so that is...
What's a good year for them this year? I'm big on
8 wins.
Top 4 in the conference. I'm big on. I've always just wanted consistency at the top and not middle of the pack, but consistency at the top. To me, you're not going to win the conference every year. But I also don't want to drop down and be the 8th team in the conference. So I like being in that top third of the conference.
Then let me tell you. So you're saying top 4 of the conference?
To me, 4. I think top 4 is a good year.
Here were the records of the top 4 teams in the Big 12 last year for comparison's sake. Okay. Houston was 4th with a 10-3 overall record and a 6-3 conference record. Utah was 3rd at 11-2 with a 7-2 conference record. BYU and Texas Tech were tied for 1st and 2nd with a 12-2 overall record and an 8-1 conference year. So if they're going to finish in the top 4 in the Big 12 conference, they probably need to win 9 or 10 games and go at least 6-3 in the Big 12.
Okay, so that takes out your 8 wins. 8 wins doesn't get you there.
Oh, no, I was just throwing out a number. I was just telling you what your standard kind of looks like if you compare last year's standings to what it might take to get there this year.
I think a lot of it's going to depend on the quarterback play, and this is where when Kenny got Cutter Boley and Keene – and that quarterback room's good. It's talented. You want somebody to separate themselves. I think it'll be Cutter Boley. And I said this at the time. Kenny's not worried about being able to develop a quarterback. He's done it his whole career. He's great at it. Losing Sam Levitt, okay, it sucks. But whatever guy was coming in here was going to get so much better under Kenny Dillingham, the coaching they have, the tutelage, that I don't think he's worried about it. I'm honestly not worried about it.
Diana Taurasi is headed to the Ring of Honor. Enter to win her number 3 Mercury jersey by texting the word GOAT to 620-620. The winner will be announced during Bickley and Murata on Friday at 9:15. The winner will have 10 minutes to call in, or it'll go to somebody else. This NL wildcard race really is going to come down to the last week of the season, isn't it? Maybe even the last day of the season, isn't it? That's next here on Arizona Sports.
Cardinals. Raiders. The preseason's Game 1 live from Vegas.
We'll have our guys out there. It's not going to be much. Could be 1 drive, max of 2. For those main guys, they'll be playing. That includes Jacoby.
Coverage begins at 2. Kickoff at 5 tomorrow afternoon on the home of Arizona Cardinals football. The Arizona Sports app and 98.7 FM.
It's a supplement I take every single day, and it is M-Drive, and you can get it right now when you go online at mdriveformen.com and put Gambo in the promo code. You can get 20% off. Now, you could also go to Sprouts, and you can get it there. So that way is a great way to go and find all the great products. The number one men's selling health brand in Sprouts is M-Drive. And it's a great product because as men change and get older, things start to change. Your energy levels, your testosterone levels, you're just not the same. Well, but you want to be, right? I mean, so that's why you got to eat right, you got to sleep right, you got to work out hard. But sometimes you need that help, and that's where an all-natural supplement like M-Drive, designed specifically for men like me and you, is made. It's made for us to help us get through those workouts, to help us with our energy and our metabolism, and to help us with our endurance and our stamina and ability to recover. So you can get it at Sprouts, but I suggest go online, check out their website, mdriveformen.com.
When your air conditioner stops working or a plumbing problem cannot wait, you need a company that's focused on helping you, not finding ways to charge you more. Home and business owners have trusted Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning since 1957. The home of the no-fee emergency. No trip fees, no overtime fees, no weekend fees. What matters most to Ready Services is saving customers money and doing the job right the first time. For plumbing or air conditioning service, are you ready? Go to nofeeemergency.com.
Ready. This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Arizona's premier college football event is about to kick off the season, and you can win a staycation package for the UMB Bank Fiesta Sports Foundation football kickoff presented by the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess on August 21st. 2 tickets to the luncheon, a 2-night stay at the Princess, and a VIP meet and greet with a pair of college football legends, Mike Gundy and Jack Swarbrick. Kick off the season like a VIP. Enter for your chance to win on the contest page at arizonasports.com.
All right, back here for Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria, online all the time, libertygmcaz.com. I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. A service special going on right now at Liberty GMC, a back-to-school special, $50 off any service if your appointment is scheduled from 2 until 7, Monday through Friday. Take advantage of that at Liberty GMC, $50 off from 2 until 7 if you schedule your service then, and take advantage of the unbelievable deals they've got going on right now when it comes to their trucks. Whether you need a GMC Sierra 1500, a GMC Sierra 1500 heavy duty, or a medium-sized truck like the GMC Canyon, the deals galore at Liberty GMC. Right now, you can save up to $12,500 off the Sierra 1500, $6,500 off the heavy duty, or lease a 2026 GMC Canyon for just $329 a month. And it's all at Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Shop and buy online all the time. LibertyGMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, what's on tonight?
All right, what's on tonight? The games that we're going to watch this evening, brought to you by Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member by going to globalcu.org. Your world of financial possibilities. Locally, nothing on tonight. Diamondbacks already played. Diamondbacks already lost to the Rockies. Mercury not in action tonight. And the 2 games that you would have wanted to pay the most attention to have already been played. The Phillies lost to the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Padres beat the Brewers in 11 by a score of 4-3.
Damn.
There are other games in the National League. I'm sure Lauren's keeping an eye on her Chicago Cubs, who are beating the Nationals 9-4 right now in the bottom of the sixth. Man, the Cubs. So they win. What have they cut it to in the Central? 3? Ooh. Cubs are making a little push in the NL.
They got helped by the Padres.
Big time. And Padres just swept the Brewers. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, we were all pissed that the Padres won. Lauren's like, yeah. Let's go Padres.
It's funny that you say that because I did turn to Mitch and I go, this is like the one series where the D-backs are truly like team number 2 for me. And it's just like, if you're playing anybody else, if you weren't playing the Brewers, come on.
It's fine. It's fine.
Just don't come down to the last week of the season.
Well, that leads us right into our topic for the last segment here of the show. Let me remind you, though, since we're talking about what's on tonight. Big Red Rage is on after us. And then after that, an hour-long edition of Arizona Sports at Night with Mitch and Kellen from 7 until 8. So Big Red Rage and then Arizona Sports at Night with Mitch and Kellen. Yeah, this is going to come down to the last week of the season, isn't it?
That's why I was saying to you earlier, if one of these teams is going to get hot between the Phillies and the Padres, I prefer it the Padres. Because if the Padres are locked into the number 2 wild card and they can't lose a wild card spot, and they also can't get to 1, they're going to go into the final 3 games against the Diamondbacks, and they're just going to line up their rotation for the postseason. They're not going to worry about beating the Diamondbacks if they can't gain any ground. Like, say they can't catch the Cubs, and they also can't be caught by the Phillies or the Diamondbacks, then that could benefit Arizona because they're not going to pitch their best pitchers. They're not going to run they don't have a need to win. That could benefit Arizona.
With the Padres winning today, they are now they have the number 2 wild card spot, and they have a 1-game lead over the Diamondbacks and the Phillies, who are tied for the 3rd and final wild card spot.
Right.
The Miami Marlins are 2 games back of the D-backs and the Phillies, and the Marlins right now, for what it's worth, are beating the Pirates 8-2 in the bottom of the 7th. So chances are very good that lead is going to be a game and a half over the Marlins by the time we go into tomorrow.
The Phillies have a kind of brutal schedule, if you think about it, when you look at who they're going to play. So I'm looking at the second half of the season. They've got to play the Twins, who are still in it. They've got to play 6 games against, 3 against the Marlins. But check this out. They've got a 4-game series against the Braves, and then a 3-game series against the Braves. They're going to play the Braves 7 times in 10 games.
That's brutal.
They got to play the Mets in New York 4 times. The Mets are starting to play well. Then they've got to play Milwaukee 3 games, and then they end with the Rays, who could be fighting for home field advantage in the postseason in the American League. That's the Phillies schedule. They're going to end with the Rays and the Brewers. Their schedule's tough. Their schedule's really tough.
Remaining strength of schedule, I'm looking up right now in Tankathon. The Philadelphia Phillies have the 6th remaining toughest schedule in baseball. The Marlins have the 7th. The Diamondbacks have the 13th. The Padres have the 15th.
I would root for the Rays to lose some games or the Yankees to close the ground there because you want that final 3 games where the Rays have to play, to be able to get that, to get the division. Right now they're up 6 games in the loss column on the Yankees. But, if the Yankees could close that and make it, then they're going to have to win. They'll play their guys against the Phillies.
I'm a little worried about just this next week.
Because of the Diamondbacks?
Because the Diamondbacks play the Braves and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
2 of the hottest teams in all of baseball, although the Red Sox are cooling off a little bit. The Padres had 3 against the Cleveland Guardians and 3 against the New York Mets. So I wonder what just if you're looking at the San Diego Diamondbacks thing kind of head-to-head, what is that going to look like 6 games from right now? Now, the Diamondbacks, this has been their deal all year long. It really is almost remarkable. Like, the minute they face adversity or they're kind of backed into the corner, they respond. They've done it all year long. And the minute where you feel like you're in a spot where you could get a little comfortable, that's when they lose a series to the Colorado Rockies. So they might respond over these next 6 games against Atlanta and Boston with some of their best baseball of the year. That's kind of been what they've done all year long. At this point, the only thing I'm counting on is that the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to go into the final week of the regular season, and it's all going to be on the line. And it's all going to be on the line. That's just That's where we're headed. That's where this whole thing is headed.
After losing 2 out of 3 to Colorado, I'd probably sign up for that right now.
It's going to do it for us. We're out of here. We will not see you tomorrow due to Cardinals football. We'll be back on Friday, 2 o'clock, here on Arizona Sports.
Have a great night, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
He's the president of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Derek Hall talks D-backs baseball with Bickley and Murata. Thursday mornings at 7:45. Brought to you by Freeway Chevrolet. Watch it on YouTube. Listen on the Arizona Sports app and 98.7.
Love telling you about Lifeguard Imaging and their ability to save your life. Listen up. This is very important because right now we've got a special offer for you, a very special offer for all of our listeners to get yourself that heart scan that could save your life. Lifeguard Imaging offers a heart scan, and within a few minutes, it'll give you the information you need that could prevent a heart attack. It could prevent a stroke. It could prevent heart disease, calcium buildup, blockages, stuff you can't feel but absolutely need to know about. Lifeguard Imaging Scan will detect that for you. They've saved lives every single day. I had a buddy of mine flew in all the way from New York to go to Lifeguard Imaging and get this scan. Now, this scan's normally $600. But for the first 5 callers right now, today, August 12th, 5:56 p.m., $99. $99 for the first 5 callers to get the heart scan from Lifeguard Imaging. Here's the phone number, 602-755-5004. They limit the amount of people because they're very busy and these scans are important and they just can't do a ton of people every day. But right now, call 602-755-5004.
All right, Wolf, you've had All Pro Shade concepts at your house for a couple of years now. What is one thing you'd tell your listeners about them?
Oh, brother, you gotta have shade.
Temps hitting triple digits and the kids won't go outside?
You gotta have shade.
Hosting a backyard barbecue?
You gotta have shade.
Patio furniture fading?
Robert, you gotta have shade.
Wolf, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. Get your free estimate at allproshade.com. That's allproshade.com. Because you gotta have shade.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Rivera, Senior Marketing Manager with Mattamy Homes. We're proud to be the Stories of Hope sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital Give-a-thon. In my own family, my son was diagnosed with leukemia. He's now doing great, all thanks to the wonderful medical care of PCH. Call 602-933-4567. You can also text GIVE to 620-620. The children at PCH need our help now more than ever.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and you've seen the billboards. Sweet James is everywhere. It's a fun name and a fun brand, but when you've been hurt in an accident and it's game time, Sweet James plays to win. They are unstoppable in their pursuit of justice, and they are the heavy hitter you need when dealing with the insurance companies. Sweet James Accident Attorneys is a world-class law firm with over 25 years of experience, more than 500 trials, and over $2 billion recovered for accident victims. They even have a full in-house trial team, and they win 98% of the time. Remember, having the right attorney can mean the difference between a $2,000 check and a $2 million settlement, and Sweet James delivers some of the biggest wins in the country, and they've been named best attorneys in America. So if you're hurt in an accident, don't settle for less. Call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-900-0000, online at sweetjames.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Oh, hey, Sarah. Here to pick up your little camper, too?
Yeah.
Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
Wow, that's a big deal.
We got a big deal